This is the WWE Raw March 3, 2025 full show results video which takes place at KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. CM Punk makes his entrance and climbs onto the announce desk to cut a promo. He says this is gonna be fun for him but not for us, and he might just get Raw cancelled off of Netflix. He asks the crowd for a name for his first target and starts with The Rock and calls Dwayne a bald fraud, and just because he's on the board he's not immune from criticism and he's dealing with the best in the world. He'd love to say it to his face, but Rock is too busy pretending to care about this business and pretend to get business. He's never been desperate enough to hold a fake title and declare himself the people's champion, because he earns it. He's never been so desperate as to sell his soul, and that brings him to John Cena. He gave him the benefit of the doubt given his career, but you don't fool him twice. Hustle, loyalty, and respect for 20 years, but now everybody sees that that's bullshit, just like he has all this time. He didn't quit at Elimination Chamber, but John Cena did, and he gave up on the kids. He's gonna get hands on both these bald frauds, and when he does they're going to wish he hadn't. On to the man who has all his attention. Little brothers Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch better come get her man, because if he gets to him first he's gonna put him in a wheelchair. Seth's music hits and CM charges like a bat out of hell to meet him with punches on the stage. Hammering violence, and immediately referees and road agents arrive to pull them apart, but it doesn't hold and Rollins bowls him right over, trading punches in the aisle, security failing to separate them, and they keep fighting. Into the ring and rolling around, back out, they get separated by the barricade on the far side of the announce desk, Seth trying to leap over the desk, Punk with rage boiling over in his eyes, security manages to drag Rollins up the ramp. In the Judgment Day clubhouse they're celebrating while Finn Balor fumes. He complains about getting embarrassed last week. Dominic Mysterio again says they should add a new member. Finn refuses and says they're gonna double down on being better. Gunther gets on the mic during his entrance and he says Otis is very strong, but to him he's just a freak of nature that belongs in the same category as Jey Uso, a people pleaser who makes a clown of himself to entertain a degenerate audience, and this does not belong in his sacred ring. He says the crowd only cheers Otis because they pity him, and asks if he's looked in the mirror. He did, and what he saw was him wearing the World Heavyweight Championship as a belt while Otis can't find a belt that fits. The sad part is Otis could be great with just a little bit of self-respect, but don't worry, he'll teach you something about respect right now, and he blasts Otis with a cheap boot. Then we saw a match between Gunther versus Otis, and the result of this match was Gunther defeated Otis by pinfall with a powerbomb. Post-match, Gunther goes back and puts the Gajira clutch on Dozer, and Akira Tozawa makes the save, but the ring general slings him off and powerbombs him into Otis. Looking to do the same thing in the opposite order, and then Jey Uso comes to save. Gunther is on him right as he slides into the ring, but Jey turns it around and sends him packing with a spear. Aton Down Under arrive to beat Jey Uso down, but he ducks and takes them out with a super kick, a big right hand, and a spear. Gunther grabs the Gajira clutch on Uso and falls back into the body scissors. AJ Styles is interviewed and talks about how surprising John Cena selling out was, but immediately Karrion Kross rolls up to weasel his way into the conversation and Styles tells him to stop his song and dance. He's not John Cena, and maybe the WWE Universe needs a reminder of who AJ Styles is. So he calls Logan Paul out for a match next week and says if Kross is gonna be the devil on his shoulder, well, God knows his evil ways. The next match happened between Ivy Nile versus Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. We see Ivy Nile applied ankle lock, folding Valkyria's leg in half. She's screaming agony, but she gets the ropes. Nile gets under her, Lyra rolls through, sunset flip for 2. Waistlock, snapping off a German suplex, and Lyra is down and out in the corner. In the end, duck under a big boot, back-to-back backbreaker, and Lyra Valkyria defeated Ivy Nile by pinfall with Nightwing, retaining the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Backstage, CM Punk and Seth Rollins are still trying to fight in the bowels of the arena, and Adam Pearce arrives to try and get control of the situation as we go to break. Back from the commercial, Seth Rollins screams at Adam Pearce that it's him or Punk. Pearce relents and books a steel cage match for Madison Square Garden next week and tells Rollins he doesn't want to see his face again tonight. Ludwig Kaiser cuts a promo about how when he's done with Penta, he'll know what fear is. Penta runs down and catches him with a Tijeras super kick, Penta driver attempt, but Kaiser retreats to the apron. Back inside, side kick from Penta sets up Sling Blade, skin the cat right into a Frankensteiner to the floor. Bianca Belair is interviewed backstage and she says, out of respect for Jade and Naomi, she doesn't want to talk about any of it until she's been able to talk to both of them. As sad as she is, she's proud of what she could accomplish in the Elimination Chamber and she's gonna focus on finding out who she's gonna fight at WrestleMania. A video package of Chad Gable seeking out his Lucha Libre mentor in Mexico follows. Eventually a man in a serape and a long gray beard greets him, telling him he can't fight what he doesn't understand, and he must become Lucha. Gable says he'll do anything and the man offers a box, first demanding payment. Chad gives him the money, he gives him the box and says now he wields power beyond his understanding. The next match happened between American Made vs. War Raiders for the WWE World Tag Team Championship, and the result of this match was War Raiders defeated American Made by pinfall with War Machine on Brutus Creed, retaining the WWE World Tag Team Championship. Latino World Order cut a promo on New Day promising that they won't take their spirit or their fire. Rey Mysterio takes lead to challenge them to a tornado tag team match and he talks about how proud he is of his group and how proud he is to say New Day sucks in Spanish. Back from the commercial, Finn Balor is in the ring and cuts a promo on Braun Breaker, saying he's only still Intercontinental Champion because Judgment Day have allowed it. Braun, in the Ackerland position, says he has the title because he's a dog and runs Judgment Day down. Finn says in this ring he is untouchable and he could take the title anytime he likes. Breaker heads for the ring and they brawl, Balor with a double leg into a double stump, Braun guzzles him and then hits the military press power slam. Off the ropes for the spear but Dominic Mysterio pulls his guy out of the ring and then Braun spears Carlito to send a message. Jey Uso runs into Alpha Academy and exchanges pleasantries and he rolls into an interview and admits that what went down with Gunther earlier bothers him a little bit because it's got him doubting himself, but his back is against the wall and nobody can pick him up but him, and at WrestleMania he's gonna be a beast. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between IYO Sky vs Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World Championship, and Bianca Belair watching the match at the ringside. Collar and elbow, Sky goes behind, standing switch into a waistlock takedown. IYO with a side headlock, off the ropes, T. Harris, Ripley blocks and husses her up. Reversed, victory roll, cover for 2 and we go to break. Back from the commercial IYO with a dropkick, back and forth, looking for an armbar takedown, she gets an Asuka lock. Bullet train, giant step, up top, Rhea cuts her off, hits back suplex. Back and forth, Sky gets the moonsault, but Ripley gets foot on the ropes. To the floor, IYO with a suicide dive, Rhea gets under her, electric chair facebusters into the apron and the announce desk and both women are down on the floor in front of Bianca Belair. Referee Jessica Carr is counting, Ripley in at about 4, IYO back in at 9. Rhea shoves Bianca, Belair shoves her back, Carr is distracted but notices as a shoving match breaks out and she puts her foot down, saying this is a title match and she's not gonna stop it over this kind of bickering. Ripley back inside, up top, Riptide countered into an avalanche Frankensteiner and then hits diving moonsault, and defeated Rhea Ripley by pinfall to become the new WWE Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley was so disappointed, and IYO Sky celebrates, and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's Monday Night Raw? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching the video.